We actually have a friend in common from the Westo Chamber, and when I did her house, it was a toothbrush that was this big. Okay.
Oh, it was. You're exaggerating.
No. I'm not exaggerating. It was this big. It had to have been either for like a horse or a dental prop. That's what I kept thinking, is maybe it was like a dental prop for an office, because there's no way this is fitting in anybody's mouth. But it was just hanging out down there. As soon as we opened it up to take our before shot, I pull it out and I said, "Hey, are you hiding your toothbrush from me?"
Welcome to High Trust Professionals Podcast, where we interview real estate agents, community leaders, business owners, and entrepreneurs from across the country. Hear what it takes to build trust, be a respected leader, be productive, and win your day. Sit back and relax as we dive into another episode of High Trust Professionals Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to High Trust Professionals Podcast. I am your host, Lynette Arrasmith, and with me today, I have Katie Smotherman. Hi, Katie.
Hi there.
Katie is the owner and operator of KB Maintenance. So, we're going to dive into some stuff. Should we say some dirty stuff?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, dirty and dusty. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, appreciate it. So, Katie, and I can't even remember how long ago, like so many of my guests, we met through networking.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Was it the West Omaha Chamber? I think it was the Westo Chamber.
Yep.
I love the Westo Chamber. Now, of course, I'm a board member, so of course I have to say it. But yes, I do. I love the Westo. I mean, it's just a great way to connect.
Yes, definitely.
And meet people, right? Especially if and when you're newer to town.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start, before we dive into what you do, because I just think it's so interesting, things that people don't even think about that they need. Tell us your story. So before you started your company, what did Katie do?
Okay, yeah. I was a construction accountant for a couple decades, working in different realms of construction. Worked my way all the way up to controller of a general contracting company. And once I got to the top of, where I was headed all those years, I realized that I really didn't like it there. And also I realized, wow, there's a lot of people out there starting businesses that they pay me to sit in the back office and figure out the money and figure out the taxes and figure out the payroll and stuff, and they have no idea how to do any of that. They just know how to swing their hammer or whatever, get out and do the trade. And so I started kind of figuring, I wonder if maybe I could find something that I could do that.
Some opportunity here.
Definitely, because like the full package, just find me something that I can physically get into doing, and then I can do the full circle for the business.
Sure.
And after some companies ran really well, some ran not so well, but I learned a lot from moving around to different companies and what worked and what didn't work. And I just decided one day it was time to make all that money for myself instead of going out and
spread your own wings.
Working 80 hours a week.
What I love about part of what you just said is, so often people think, I'm going to start a business.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a business owner, but they don't really understand the finance part of it.
Exactly.
And that's why I don't even know what the percentage is, but it's a high percentage, isn't it, that new businesses fail within the first 5 years?
Yep.
I don't know what that is, but I know it's high. And I think it's just because they either don't know what they don't know, or they don't hire the right people to help them.
Exactly.
I mean, that's it too.
Yep.
Even with our little LLC that we only use for investment properties, we absolutely have a bookkeeper who works hand in hand with our CPA.
Right.
Because I don't want to do it.
Yep.
I'll miss something for sure.
Right.
So good for you. So you already have that little number nerd thing going on.
Definitely. That's my sweet spot. So I was like, okay, let's find something to add to it. And
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So construction, business, back room, little property management?
Yeah, I was involved in property management here and there. So I kind of got the ins and outs on how to run, how buildings run, how different, all that really goes into the behind the scenes on everywhere you go. And it was the combination of the property management with the construction just was like almost like a spark for me to be able to know all the, I just felt like it gave me all the information I needed to get in and to make something happen.
And let's go.
Yes, definitely.
So how did you choose? Well, first of all, how did you get to Omaha? Because you're not from here.
Nope. I was born and raised in Tacoma, Washington, so I was there my whole entire life until about 18 months ago. And what got me here is I originally went into business with a good friend of mine, from Lincoln. And so when we were getting ready to start up the business, we were going to open up a shop in Seattle. And he said, why don't you come over to Omaha? We can get you going, and then you can always go back, later.
Yeah.
And I came to Omaha, and I'm never going back.
It's not a bad place to live, is it?
It's absolutely amazing.
No,
I love
it is. Yes, we love Omaha as well. So before we dive into what you do, I'd like to know, how did you choose what to do? Because with construction management, property management knowledge, there are a lot of different ways you could have gone.
Right.
So how did you kind of hone in on this cleaning of air ducts and vents, and we'll talk about what that has kind of spidered out for you.
Yeah, I definitely got into that because it was just kind of something that was being brought to people's attention over the last several years. And so it's something on people's radar now. My original business partner had started about a year before me doing the air duct cleaning, and he just said, oh my gosh, it sells itself. It's just, we've got this process, which was a big thing for me because the part that I didn't really have was a sales aspect. I'm like, I'm not a salesperson. I don't want to go out and try to push jobs and push stuff. And he said, you don't have to. We're just informing people and they need it. And so it's just, and it's something I can physically do. There's a lot of construction stuff out there that I wouldn't be able to physically get in there and do, and I want to be hands-on at my job. So I felt like it was a great match. It's needed. I can physically do it, so that gives me the full circle of being able to do everything about the business, and so it was a perfect fit.
I love that.
Yeah.
And truthfully, before I met you, I'm trying to think, maybe one time we did a remodel and we're like, should we have our ducts cleaned out? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to know what's in there. Right? So we'll kind of talk about that because it's like, do I want to know? But it's just so healthy. And I think there's so much more awareness now. I mean, I think your timing is great because there's more awareness. People don't realize what it does in terms of, well, I'll let you talk about all the benefits. Okay, so let's talk about that. The benefits of cleaning out. So let's talk just with air ducts first.
Okay.
So what are the benefits of having your air ducts cleaned out?
Okay, well, the top benefit, of course, that most people are aware of is just actually cleaning them out. So you're getting the dust and the dirt and the hair and everything that's flown into them. So there'd be significantly less dust buildup in your home. And so that's a huge draw for people. What a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of original construction debris is left behind. And so what happens is there'll be sheetrock pieces and nails and screws and all this stuff that's been sitting in there. And so you have maybe a dog in your home. Now all that hair is going up and getting twined around that, and you end up having this big ball, which restricting all your airflow. So getting your air ducts cleaned is better for your utility bills. It's better on your allergies if you're allergic to anything. There's been people that have had dog allergies, for instance. They're like, we don't have a dog, and by the time we're done cleaning their air ducts, we've got a full dog's worth of hair that we're pulling out of there. And so they've been literally sitting in their own home with this allergy just coming every time the heater or the air kicks on, it's just coming back through their house, and they have no idea because it's out of sight and out of mind. So people don't think about what might be back there from previous people.
Okay, so let's just hit the pause button. Did everyone get that? I mean, seriously, you don't think about, these are just things I don't, you buy a new home, you move in and you're like, cool. And then all of a sudden, wow, why is my nose running? Why are my eyes itchy?
Yes.
I don't have a dog, but I have an allergy to it. But who knows? You're right. Who knows?
Yep.
Could have been cat, could have been dog. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So what's like the most interesting thing maybe that you've pulled out?
Okay, yes.
I have to ask.
We actually have a friend in common from the Westo Chamber, and when I did her house, it was a toothbrush that was this big. Okay.
Oh, it was. You're exaggerating.
No, I'm not exaggerating. It was this big. It had to have been either for like a horse or a dental prop. That's what I kept thinking, is maybe it was like a dental prop for an office, because there's no way this is fitting in anybody's mouth. But it was just hanging out down there. As soon as we opened it up to take our before shot, I pull it out and I said, hey, are you hiding your toothbrush from me?
Okay, time out. So it certainly wouldn't fit in anyone's mouth. How in the world? Like maybe a kid.
Yeah, kids do use it for like extra storage space. Sometimes you can tell they'll have their toys, or maybe they're hiding it from their siblings. I don't know, because we find a lot of board game pieces, Monopoly money, lots of baby socks get shoved down in there, lots of baby socks. Little things that you think, where did that thing go? right? You know what I mean? There's only this many places. Well, a lot of times it'll slide.
Oh my gosh.
You know, a lot of the registers on the floor, they just come right off.
Yes.
And so kids realize that after a while, and then they're like,
And
oh,
they're
this
like,
is
oh,
awesome.
this is cool.
Like a change store, you know what I mean? Or whatever. God, right?
You're like, what else are we going to put down there? Okay, so a large toothbrush. All right.
We've also found McDonald's chicken nuggets up in a house in Bennington. It was a
Ew.
brand new home, and so it was and we found 10 of them down one run. So the first one we went into, there was 3 of them, and as we went down, and by the time we got to the end, there was a shriveled up honey packet. Sadly, they were McDonald's chicken nuggets because they looked exactly that, but they were just a little bit shriveled, but they looked exactly like a McDonald's chicken nugget. It was sad.
And what does that tell you about what's in a chicken nugget?
Yeah, not a lot of chicken.
Ew.
But you
Side note number 3. That's disgusting.
Well, and you think to yourself, like, this is I think it was a 1.5-year old home, a very expensive home. And, you know, if these people would have thought like most people, I have a new home, I don't need to get my air ducts cleaned.
Right.
They would have never done that. And you think about what that's going to cause, the mold, the rot, the animals come with the rodents. Yeah.
The little critters that like that.
Exactly.
Ew.
So you think the domino effect of what that will be. So a lot of times we say, like, although you have a new home, that's sometime after a brand new build or after a big construction remodel is really the best time to do it. Get that stuff out of there so it doesn't have a chance to wad your dog hair up in there and get everything built up around it.
Right.
So.
So glad you're here today. This is so interesting. All right. So how often realistically should someone have their air ducts cleaned?
So they say about every 5 to 10 years. It kind of also depends on your allergies, on your amount of pets in the home, you know, things that you've got, different variables. If you're highly allergic to things, it's a small price to pay to keep yourself breathing better in your home, you know, and so you might want to do that more often. Other people, if it's just a couple living in a home, you know, with no pets, they would be able to go longer. A good gauge is to kind of pick up one of your registers and just kind of see what's built up on that, because then you know whatever's down in there is probably a reflection of what's going on all the way down the rest of the
That's a good idea.
run. Yeah, and a lot of times that's actually shocking. Once you pick that up, it's like people have no idea because you haven't seen that. You're not looking at that. The carpet looks nice around it. You know, the paint looks nice, but you're not really understanding that that's what's going on in there. We did a family last week, and they're bringing home a brand new baby in a couple of weeks, so they wanted to get him cleaned out. And we went, the third room was the baby's room, and when we got to it, it was unbelievable. It was twice as dirty as the other ones. There was cobwebs and dog hair, and all this stuff. It was like, it looked like, it was so sad to think that they were just about to move a baby into that bedroom, and you just don't think, because it looks perfect.
Right.
The crib and the blankets and it just looked so beautiful. And then you're like, oh, that baby wouldn't have been able to handle breathing all that. You think their lungs can't handle it the way that we can, and we shouldn't even be breathing it.
Wow. Okay, so let's transition to other things because I know you've shared some stories about dryer vents.
Yes.
Because people don't realize, so talk about dryer vents, because that's another point of, I think, interest where folks are like, oh, okay, yeah, I should do that.
Definitely. Yeah, people don't realize it's a higher fire hazard. 15,000 fires a year due to dryer vents not being cleaned out. It happened just here in Omaha not too long ago, and that's what they said. They left the house with the dryer on, and they came back, and the whole house was burnt down. And it was a newer home, and you think to yourself, those should be cleaned out yearly. You should definitely check those out and clean them out yearly. So that is what I do when I do a full home air duct cleaning, is we also do the dryer vent at that time, and then I will just contact the people a year later, because a year goes by in about a week and a half sometimes, and so they don't realize that it's gone by so quickly. But it extends the life of your dryer. A lot of times when people are like, when I dry those blankets, I got to restart the dryer again, or those heavy sweaters don't quite get dry. Well, a lot of times it's because there's so much lint built up behind the dryer that it won't allow it to. So you have to keep restarting it. So when you clean that out, it gives you like a brand new life of your dryer.
Well, and I think you told a story once about how someone thought they needed a new dryer because it just wasn't drying.
Yep.
And it really just needed to be cleaned out.
Yep.
Because then, you clean out the lint you can reach.
Yep.
And I think there's like a little brush thing you can get so far if someone is mindful enough to have that. But it really goes beyond that, right?
Yep. This comes out the back, and it goes out through your wall and out the back side. So we actually have a snake attached to a long hose, and we'll force the air on the dryer, and then we snake it all the way in and pull everything out. And so we take videos of that, and that basically sells the next jobs, because people see that and they're like, there's no way, like, I never thought about this. Or,
I'll see you in a year.
Yeah, exactly.
I will see you in a year. So, everyone is going to want to know, well, how much does it cost? So one of my questions, which you've already answered, it doesn't matter if it's a new home or an old home.
Right.
Because there's construction
Yep.
stuff.
Yep.
Or remodel. Guess what? There's construction stuff. So it doesn't matter if it's new or old. So how much? I mean, what's, give me you're going to do my whole house, and then if I just felt I needed my dryer looked at.
Okay. It's about $695 for the full home. That includes all your return and your intake vents and your dryer vent. We do before and after shots to show you what was in there before we started and then what's been cleared out since then. We've got a huge commercial vacuum we bring into your home, so it's like sucking in. We're pushing with hoses through every single line to get every single ounce through. We're basically like running it through your whole home. And then we provide the videos and the pictures at the end, and that's just what, what people want to see. It's that, I don't know. I mean, it's just shocking every single time. There's only been 2 homes that I've done so far that have been like, okay, well, they probably could have waited another couple of years, but
sure.
why not now get it? Now they won't have to anytime soon. But the rest of the homes are like, people are just jaw on the floor. By the time we're done, they cannot believe that was in their home. And then I get a text about a month later, there is so much less dust or something. And I'm just like, oh, thank goodness.
Oh my gosh. And I thought about that too. I thought it has to bring down dust.
Yep.
And in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, speaking of dusting, when it's time to do your ceiling fans, I'm like, how does it even get up there? Like, how does so much dust get on the stinking ceiling fans?
Yeah, because, honestly, unless you come like we do with the vacuum and suck it and take it with you, you're just pushing it to another part of the home. So it just recirculates at whatever level, through your home forever until you remove it.
And plus, if anyone really looks when they dust, it just goes anyway.
Yep. We're just spreading it around for a while.
Yeah. For those who are listening and not watching, we're just kind of throwing our hands everywhere. The dust just goes everywhere, just like that. So anything else I want to transition before we run out of time into other services that you provide. Anything else you want to touch on in terms of air duct cleaning and or dryer vent cleaning?
Just that, just to keep it on your radar for something that needs to be done. I would check out my website. I've got a lot of videos and pictures of what has happened here in Omaha and other people's homes, just to get kind of the conversation going about what kind of benefits, because I think, again, a lot of people just think it's the cleanliness part, and it's like, especially after COVID, people sitting at home for years and stuff, that's just really brought, shines a light on what we need to be doing in our own homes to take care of ourselves and our health. And, there are things that we can do, and this is one of them. And again, when I got into the business, it's because there was a need, and now I've got a huge passion for wanting to pull this stuff out of your home so that you don't have to breathe that anymore.
I love that. All right. So other services. What else? I know you do more than just that. So what else could we hire you to do?
All right. We do interior and exterior window washing, power washing, and gutter cleaning.
Oh.
So yeah, when the season comes and people pretty much spring cleaning and stuff, like we just kind of get people on schedules and things. We've been setting up some window washings, that people want semi-annually. It's just a good idea to, again, wash your windows every once in a while and get that layer of crud that's built up and everything, and then kind of keep it consistent. Just maintaining your home. We spend a lot of money on our homes. We move into them, and so the little bits that we can do to keep them from becoming a big clean job. I mean, you don't want to go in there and I don't want to buy new windows. I don't want to, whatever we can do. And it's so beautiful here in Omaha. Like, who wouldn't want to see that sun shining through your clean windows and not dust flying around your house?
There's nothing like having clean windows. Yes. I mean, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming you'll do inside, outside, or just outside, whatever the need is, right? Yeah. And so gutter cleaning, I mean, should someone wait until they see the water kind of flowing over like a waterfall? Or is it a fall thing because of leaves? So, like, how often is that even necessary?
It kind of depends on where your house sits, how many trees you've got around it. But yeah, definitely don't wait until it's we've got to replace your gutters. People will come in and they've been like, the water's just pouring over the side, and it's been doing that for 2 months, and now they want us to come in. It makes it a lot harder, It's, again, the more you maintain stuff, the less of a chance you have of those things breaking off or, getting so clogged that you're having to do 3 times the amount of work to clear things out. So, my suggestion would be once to twice a year, depending on the amount of trees and things
Sure.
that are falling around your house. If you've got 3 trees hanging right over on top of it, it's like you got to
And
get up there and get those.
You do.
Yeah.
don't even know it's up there, right?
Right.
So let's talk about power washing real quick and then we'll move on. So in my mind, I think power wash, well, if I have a deck or if I have even some cement that's dirty.
Yep.
People don't think about it. It doesn't just have to be wood, right? It could be
Right.
cement or siding.
Yes. Yep. Siding on a home. We've done lots of that. We right now actually we have a deal of it's like the driveway and the siding, together would be like a little discount and things like that. A lot of people don't realize that. Yeah, you can make your driveway look brand new. Your dock, if you've got a dock, we did a lot of those over in Okoboji. It was like
Sure.
those things would go from looking like you don't even want to walk on them to, is this a brand
Beautiful.
new dock out here?
Yeah.
And so it's just really nice just to spruce things up. I'm a creature of habit, so I see things going a little bit dingy at a time, and I don't realize until they've gotten so bad. And so it's just like almost shocking to see those pictures,
Yes, the
what they look
befores
like
and the
to
afters.
after, especially if you're going to have a get together. A lot of times people are like, oh, we're having family over, we want to clean things up. You don't realize it's a very small price to pay to make
Yes.
everything look really nice for that.
It is. Do you have on your website, do you have pricing or is it a call? Because I'm sure it depends on the size of the job.
Yep.
Etc. Number of windows, etc.
Yep.
So they would just call and get a quote or have you come out, right?
Yep, and you can do that through the website as well. Do a request for a bid, and then I would contact them back and come out and take a look. And
Nice.
yeah,
Nice,
all of our
nice.
bids and quotes are free. So
Love that. So we're going to transition to some fun questions. What does success look like to you?
Oh.
You've done I love that you've done so many things
Mhm.
in your life, in your career.
Mhm.
This is where you've landed. It's obvious you have passion around it,
Yep.
which I love. I love that about you. Love your energy. So what does success look like?
It's wrapped up around happiness for me, because I think it could be. I don't think it's necessarily money. That goes along with it. You gotta. I'm not doing this for free by any means, but just finding something that I can do at the level that I want to do it and be such a hands-on and be such a part of it. I was missing out on that part, in my other jobs in life, because it was like you can only do your part. You know what I mean? And I could never really get in there and be part of the big picture. And I would see visions of, oh, we'll do this over here and help this over here. So,
but you had to stay in your lane.
Yes, yeah, and now it kind of gives me that freedom to be able to do that and put those things to, practical application and realizing that I've learned so much over the years, again, what to do and what not to do. And so I really don't doubt the success of this business because of that.
I love that.
I've always been a go-getter. I give 110%, and it's hard to do that for someone else. A lot of times it shines the light on maybe what they're not doing when that's not really the point. It's almost like, but it's really nice to. So I feel already wildly successful just because of that freedom and the ability to get in there and to do it myself.
Good for you. Last thing, if you could spend time with one person to pick their brain or brainstorm, a cup of coffee, a lunch, a half a day, who would that be?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I guess Bill Gates comes to mind just because I'm from Washington and the whole, just he seems like somebody that you could talk to on a human level, but he's wildly successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's actually what got me into business, is sitting down with the people that were really successful in life and finding out how they got there and what would you do if you were me, and I'm a big fan of those people have learned some of those lessons and have seen those things and they're ahead of me in that game. So what would you do? And
I love that.
I don't know everything. So I love that there's people out there that can help with that.
You know what? Seeking wisdom from others is so important as a leader, as a business owner, etc. Well done. Well done. Okay, well, friends, that is a wrap. And so where can we find Katie and KB Maintenance? www.kbmaint.com, kbmaint, 402-952-4482. And thank you for being here. It was great learning more about your craft.
Yes.
and I'm sure word of mouth. I'm sure that your word of mouth is crazy. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us, High Trust Professionals Podcast. I'm your host, Lynette Arrasmith. Hey, listen, do me a favor, like, share, comment, find us on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and don't forget TikTok. See you next time.